What is good, everybody? Welcome back to Real Fan Sports. My name is Zach, and I'm here with my partner, Nonpfixion. What's good, brother?
Man, I'm chilling, bro. What you got for us today?
Well, today I got a video that was sent to us through our member request form, and this, in fact, is one of our members. So we're going to check out From the Vault, the Underarm Incident. So this was sent to us by our guy, Mainstar, and that's why I had a crack open a beer just for you.
Incident.
The Underarm Incident. So now I actually did watch this on accident earlier today or yesterday because Mainstar sent it to me, told me to look at it. Didn't realize it was the same thing, but now you're going to get to see it, and it's actually crazy. So let's get into it.
Ian Smith is out, bowled Trevor Chappell for 4, 8 down for 229, and New Zealand's only hope now is a 6 off the last ball for a tie.
Yeah, so New Zealand needs a 6 in order to tie. It's the last ball. That's all they can do. All right? Very big moment between Australia and New Zealand. Change the rules of the game. So they're discussing. You see him do the underhand motion.
Long discussion. Well, it looks to me as if they're going to bowl underarm off the last ball. Rod Marsh is saying no, mate, but I'm sure he's going to bowl an underarm delivery.
So I didn't see this part of it. The catcher is saying, no, man, don't do that.
Okay, I'm just curious. I'm like, why do underhand delivery?
Well, you're gonna see why, and you're gonna see why the catcher is saying no as well.
Last ball and bowl it along the ground, and be sure that it has not been hit for 6. The umpires have been told. The batsmen have been told, and this is possibly a little bit disappointing. Let's make sure it is an underarm, but I've got the feeling as a big ex-Victorian skipper, they're going to bowl an underarm. Have you ever believed it? And that's a disappointing finish.
So it's a cheap play. That's why the catcher didn't, the wicketkeeper didn't want to do that. It's a cheap play. They could only get a 6. So they came out and said, oh, well, you can only get a 6. Well, I'm going to give you a delivery that you can't possibly hit a 6 with. I'll roll it on the ground.
There should be no way in that game that they should be able to do that. I don't care who gets offended by what I'm saying. There should be no way they should be able to do that in the game.
No, you're absolutely right, and that is why it changed the
crap
game.
I've ever seen.
Exactly, and like I said, I saw this earlier, and because I thought whenever Mainstar was telling us about this, when he said underarm, I'm thinking like a softball delivery. Because softballers, they come around and they go in the air underarm. That's what I thought he meant. No, he meant underarm,
an actual bowl, like bowling,
a bowling bowl, yeah, and.
That's disrespectful to the game. That's disrespectful to the game.
And that's what I love about seeing this replay now and seeing the catcher even saying like no, because he didn't want to win that way. It's a disrespect to the sport. That's insane. And this was allowed for many years before this. And I believe this is one of the moments that changed it.
To me, that says that you're such of a coward of this moment that you go out the easy way. You're that much of a coward of the moment.
Right.
Yeah, you lost respect. You lose respect for that one.
Disappointed, Brian.
Let's see how the rest of it pays off.
And it's all over. After 50 overs, New Zealand 8 for 2.
I would have cracked the wickets right there.
Right, exactly. Right.
Like, there's no way you're going to do that to me.
Well, that's
snapped it off. I'd say snap it off my knee, but I'd snap it off the bowler's head probably. Oh, they're furious.
At the moment, Howard coming on.
And look, even the catcher's coming over there and apologizing because he doesn't like it. I respect that man out of anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Than their skipper, Geoffrey Howard. There he
they
is
should
now,
not even allow that to be a thing.
No.
Cronin and Weezer, and I know exactly the reason he's out there. He's played his cricket over in the United Kingdom with Surrey for a number of years, and the Benson and Hedges domestic competition
you were
there.
proud of that moment? Like, you're proud that you did that?
Oh, you can't be.
Yeah, come on, man. Like, if you celebrate this win.
Well, and that's the craziest thing. I mean, it's ODIs, not Test, but I mean, 50 over, it's a long game. It's probably going on, probably 6-7 hours if I had to guess. We haven't watched an ODI series yet. I'm actually watching one tomorrow, Sri Lanka and cricket in India. But that's how you go out there to win it? That's how you decide to close an 8-hour match? By delivering an impossible ball to get a cheesy win? I mean, You know, I mean, there are certain sports that do it though, like, you know, to reflect, right? I mean, that's as if offensive team for the NFL taking a knee to guarantee their wins, or the moves we've seen Bill Belichick do, purposely running down the clock and then taking a safety because it makes it impossible for the team to be able to win, and different moments like that in sports.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I understand that, but even with that, I can't even put those two in the same category though. How I
Yeah,
actually feel about what I just saw. Like,
right,
you even with a safety, the other team still gain something can still gain something from it.
right, yeah.
You know, even with taking a knee, I've seen Palomalo stop a knee. I've seen it being stopped. You can't stop that.
No, yeah, that's very true. That's very well. You can't stop it anymore either because you're not allowed to jump over the lineman. But yeah, very true.
A series of rules designed to make the game flow freely and to avoid incidents such as the one that happened here today. Now, there is the relevant rule on page 2, and it says
I love
that
how they
no
pulled out the
bowler
rule.
shall be permitted to bowl underarm. And that's what Jeffrey Howarth is out there talking to them about. It is not in the Australian Benson Hedges World Series Cup rules because the administrators didn't put it in. I hope they put it in by tomorrow morning.
So was it a
Interesting.
mistake? Because what Main Star had told us was that it was allowed, like that it wasn't a mistake. He said it was allowed. Now maybe I misunderstood. Was this a mistake and it was meant to be in the rules, or they just never thought about it and they were like, you know, no one used it until that moment, and then they're like, oh wait,
It might have been like it might be like the tuck rule, a rule that was in, you know, because that rule they said it wasn't in that one, but it was in a different iteration of the rules. That's what the announcer was saying. So if it's not in that, and those two are playing together, and normally they together they don't follow that rule, it should have been allowed there. Being that one team comes from a different place and they can use it, shouldn't be allowed.
Well, it's not one team that comes. Well, it's not that one team that comes from a different place here necessarily. It's that he also plays for the I'm assuming it's the England and Wales Cricket Board. So he also plays for them, and the rule is in place there where he plays. And
That's just it.
Yeah.
If it's in one place but not the other, you can't just say, "Oh, well, it's accepted over there."
I mean, yes
you
and
can't
no.
do
'Cause I
that.
mean, that's like NBA and FIBA have different rules. You know what
I
I mean?
know,
Like,
but that's the point. When NBA players play FIBA, they play by FIBA rules.
right. Well, and they're playing the rules of this match. This isn't on England. This is New Zealand and Australia. So they're playing this set of rules.
I
For
know, but they
this
said
play.
with the highlighted form said it wasn't to be allowed. It said except by no bowler.
But that's for the English rules.
Hmm.
That was the cover of the English rules, and that's why he
I-
was upset
I mean,
because he went over there and wanted to talk to the umpire and, you know, figure out like, wait, I thought this wasn't allowed. Why was this allowed? And then, you know, that's when they
to
decided.
be honest, that's something that shouldn't even be in the rules at all.
Oh no, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That should never.
No,
that should never be in there in the first place.
I'm not in disagreement. I'm just playing some devil's advocate to make the conversation interesting. Let's keep
that
going.
just takes everything from the game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's embarrassing. You want to win
The other
with
thing
pride,
is
not with
that
shame.
the reason it all happened, in my opinion, is that the captain got his sums wrong. Now, from over number 42, we were saying in the commentary box that he'd made a nonsense of it and that he was going to be in trouble having Lilly bowl the 50th over, which was the ideal thing to do. You must have your best bowler bowl the 50th over. And Lilly, Marsh and Greg Chappell and Hughes were there counting on their fingers trying to work out who should bowl 46, 7, 8, 9 and 50. As it turned out, the sums were done so badly that Trevor Chappell was left to bowl the 50th over, and that.
So you are mad? You decide to do this because you're mad at your own mistake? Because you messed up the sums? Now, so they were trying to add up. They were trying to determine what way to do it in order for their best bowler and Lilly to bowl the final sets of overs there, and they messed up somewhere down the line. Now, I don't know if it's just them that mess up, if they ask the umpires. Like, I don't know how those conversation goes, but to me, it seems like they fluffed up. And so since they messed up, they're like, let's ruin the respect for the sport.
You know, and to kind of go off what you were saying about like the knee or the safety. As a fan, you don't want to see that, but as a fan, yes, it's strategic, and yes, in this moment, this is strategic. But just the way it's done, it's like it feels like it really cheapens the game. Because I guess from my point of view, a safety doesn't cheapen the game. A knee doesn't cheapen the game because a knee is just victory stance. Like there's no reason to do it most times.
It's that you've already won. You've
already won.
You've already won.
Like this is,
and
we're scared we might actually lose.
Timeouts and saved and
yes,
stuff like that.
Yes, true. In this moment, this is like, oh, we're scared that we actually might lose this, so we're going to do this. You know, it's like just roll on the ground. Like, come on, man.
Very true.
That's how it all happened. Very true. Panic stations, and then when
that's kind of crazy.
Had to hit a 6 off the last ball just to tie, mind you, not to win, just to tie, then the panic became real.
And blur out 1-9 since they like to block all of our content when we use their stuff.
Now, everyone around Australia would
have
their own ideas on that.
And leave this conversation about blocking them out on the
air. Calls about different things that happen. So I don't expect anyone to agree with me. I don't expect that you get more than 50% agreement on anything. Let me just tell you what I think about it. I think it was a disgraceful performance from a captain who got his sums wrong today. And I think
you know what that was? Embarrassing. That's what it was.
To happen again. We keep reading and hearing that the players are under a lot of pressure and that they're tired and jaded and perhaps their judgment and their skill is blunted. Well, perhaps they might advance that as an excuse for what happened out there today.
Agreed.
Not with me, they don't. I think it was a very poor performance. One of the worst things I have ever seen done on a cricket field. Good night.
Wow. That's like, to me...
And you know he's frustrated because how he exited that. Good night. Yeah. He wanted to leave. He didn't want to be on set no more because he knew he was about to say something ridiculous.
That feels like the equivalent to when baseball players have the stuff on the cap or they use their sweat on the ball. Like that's the equivalent to that. Like you have to go that extra mile to make sure you win. When just play the game. You put yourself in that position. You put yourself in that position. Now fight your way out of it. You got one opportunity. They got one opportunity. You either lose, you walk away a champion, winner, or you walk away a loser. That's on you. Don't just try to cheapen it so you can get the win. I'm glad that's not the game no more because I would hate to see that in one of our reactions. Okay, I'm out. I'm out.
I'll tell you what, it's definitely certain things, and I'm sure there's things like that in all of sports throughout the history of the sports. Where of course. If we'd see that nowadays, like you said, like if that would be something we saw in our very first reaction, like to a game highlights, and we'd see like that's how it ended, and it was like accepted. I'd probably sit here and be like, I don't know if I really want to watch cricket anymore. I honestly would. 'Cause I'm like, oh, so like. You're telling me that if they were, up by 6 going into the last over, technically they could just keep underarm bowling until the game ended? I'd be like, why would I want to watch that?
Yeah. I mean, and I'm just curious to know how many times have that type of situation actually happened in the game?
Yeah.
I know we've seen this and this was made into a big thing which changed the rules, but how many times before that moment where it became, a big thing had it happened before,
Yeah.
Who pulled it out before? Because obviously they knew that part of the rule. They knew it really well. Like, oh, we can just do this real quick.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, the captain had that up his sleeves the whole entire time.
The entire time.
Unbelievable.
I'd rather get put out by a hidden ball trick than that.
yeah, right. Now, I mean, there are some other controversial moments in cricket that we have been recommended. One of which is the sandpaper event. I know a lot of people have been asking about that. The one video that we got sent of it, I don't think we're allowed to react to. So I'm trying to find another version of it. Hopefully we'll have that during our next recording. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was definitely interesting. Let us know what your thoughts are. If you were... I don't remember what year they said that was. If you were around watching it back then, what was your reaction when you saw it initially? And if you're a newer fan of cricket or you're born in a different generation, when you saw this for the first time, was your thoughts similar to us? Just disgraceful?
And if you were a fan of that team that pulled that off, were you happy in that moment, or were you like, did we really just do that to win? Were you still a fan after that moment of that team?
That's what I want to know. All right, guys. That'll do it for us. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Hit that like button. Subscribe.
Peace.
Turn on the notifications. Cheers.